can't say it right ever.
Wait, which word are you having trouble saying?
Manifesto, man.
Manifesto, look, it's easy.
Manifesto is
Manifesto.
too hard. This is Neighbors IRL, a weekly challenge podcast hosted by Eddie Sang and me, Daryl Lee. This week's challenge, listen to the checklist manifesto. Have you listened to any of them yet?
Nah, they're too hard to put on my thing.
What are you talking about? I have an RSS feed for it. You can literally put it onto your podcast app.
Oh, wait.
Dude, do you like...
No, I
not
don't.
read
No, I
anything
don't.
send you?
I don't know. I just don't know how RSS works.
Okay, here. Listen. Just click it, and then your podcast app should pop up and say, is this a podcast? Please download all the episodes.
Let me try that.
Mm-hmm.
You tried Facebook calling me?
Yeah. Did it work?
No.
You know, I have friends who run 100% of their text messages and phone calls through the Messenger app. Did you even know there was an option to do that?
Yeah, but I didn't know anyone... I didn't know a single person on this earth actually entertained that option.
Me too, but then I saw it happen in real life, and then...
Like, what demographic, what, like, group, how tech-savvy was this person? I need, like, these are questions, man. These are questions that need to be known.
It's hard to gauge one's tech savviness, so I'm not sure, but apparently it can be done, so rip.
I mean, I'm not doubting the fact, but...
Are you setting your defaults right now for your RSS?
I'm gonna see if Overcast can open it.
Yeah, send it to Overcast. Are you using Overcast more now?
No, it didn't matter to me.
It's all the same?
It's basically all the same to me. You know what? I did like how Overcast handled unplayed episodes better. Like I can imagine how if you're you and you have 70 podcasts.
Listen, trust me.
So
make the switch. You're already there. There's no effort, and you will thank yourself in the future. As a podcast host, an actual podcast host, you should be listening to a lot of podcasts. Like how a programmer has a lot of apps on their phone or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, it's downloading. Oh shit, it worked.
I know.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Most podcasts work on RSS.
Just
Just delete the default app, and you'll thank me later. Just delete it.
All right, all right. I'll make the switch again.
To Overcast.
Again, after I deleted all of my podcasts off Overcast, and
Overcast again.
Now I'm gonna do Overcast.
Overcast forever, man.
Okay.
Digga. Speaking of Overcast.
No. I'm coming back to it. The reason why I switched from Overcast back to Apple Podcasts was that when I browse my phone, I sometimes have the podcast app on to see, you know, what podcast I'll play next, and sometimes I really like having the name of the podcasts that I am listening to. It was just something that irked me a lot, having that at the bottom while I was browsing other podcasts to see what I wanted to play next or what I haven't listened to in a while. Yeah, just a minor
sounds
thing.
like quite a non-issue.
It was a non-issue, but none of the other features really compelled me enough to switch. But so,
all right, well,
I don't know. That's just me.
Go look at the highlighted link right over there.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard these before. So there's a company called Cards Against Humanity.
Okay.
And they sponsored a tech reviewer to review some toasters on his show. How about we go listen to one of them? Just click any one of them. Do ATP 103 over there. So how did you find the experience of listening to that podcast, Cher? Wasn't it great?
You know what? It was. I thought it was entertaining. It was on the thumbs up to thumbs down scale. I'd give it a 63 degrees.
It's okay. Nice reference there. But look at the web URL that the podcast player is playing from. Wasn't it nice to share? Wasn't it easy to share that timestamp? And look at the playback speed on the website there, and you can skip forward 30 seconds and skip back 30 seconds. Now here's the most impressive part: if you open the Overcast website from a mobile device, and you start playing it, and you switch to a new tab, or minimize the app, go to your home screen and look at another tab, the Overcast browser keeps playing your audio like a regular podcast player.
Wow.
Isn't that neat?
Technology.
Isn't that neat?
That's not bad at all.
What a great podcast application. Overcast.fm.
On the toaster
Review.
bit, on the toaster bit, I thought that one was okay. It was
You should listen to the entire series of toaster reviews. He does quite a bit, and it just gets funnier and funnier.
okay.
10 out of 10 would recommend. And I would also recommend the show Accidental Tech Podcast if you ever want to feel really dumb about your computer science knowledge.
Well, I mean, I still have yet to listen to more of John Syracuse's stuff. John, right? That's
John Syracuse.
Yeah, but
follow-up inventor, copyright 2011.
I've heard the legends. So I was listening to Hypercritical, and I wasn't.
Hypercritical is it's a good show, but it's a little dated.
Yeah.
It was made back in 2010, 2011.
Like near
2011, 2012, excuse me.
Starting in the beginning, I guess, like
When
near
Steve
the
Jobs
beginning.
was still alive.
Yeah, near the beginnings of his podcasting career, possibly. But anyways, when I was listening to it, I thought it was really dry.
They do go quite in depth into technical topics, but I think Accidental Tech Podcast is a lighter show.
Yeah, definitely. If I was hearing 2 or 3 voices, so if definitely he pairs with a couple of lighter co-hosts. I can definitely see
Dan Benjamin is more of a moderator in Hypercritical compared to Casey Liss and Marco Arment as actual co-hosts, and they're able to converse. And
wait, didn't Marco make Overcast?
Marco did make Overcast.
Mm.
So they're all 3 of them are very techy, but they do other topics, and you can just kind of fast forward when they get too technical, and you stop understanding what they're talking about. Another great application of this show is a sleeping podcast, because you're listening to them talking about something entertaining, and all of a sudden they're talking about HTML injection code in between their websites, and you just fall right asleep. Wake up light. How did you find the wake up light this week, Eddie?
Wake up light. All right. I really liked it as a pre-wake up sort of alarm. So the light, it shines in your face, it completely blinds you. Your body starts waking up a little bit more. But in terms of an actual alarm, in terms of having that one thing where I set it and I forget about it, I set it and then I trust it. I'm a multiple alarms man. I have slept and turned off alarms in my sleep multiple times in the past. So as a one alarm system, I cannot trust it to fully wake me up. I still have to set alarms afterwards on my phone. So for example, I'll set a 7:15 alarm on this Philips Hue wake up light, and then afterwards I would set alarms for 7:25 and 7:30 also, just in case.
Yeah, I did the same. I had the same system when I was using the wake up light. I would set a couple alarms. So say I had a 7:15 alarm on the wake up light, and so I set the wake up light as the time I absolutely needed to wake up, and then I would have a 7:05 and a 7:10 alarm on my phone, so that you get a gentle wake up with the light and the nice sunrise simulation that 92% of users agree help you wake up in the morning. Would you buy a product similar to the wake up light for yourself?
Yes, I would. Mostly because it also functions as a great nightlight before sleeping. So I like having a light on before I go to sleep, and the fact that this light is orange and it's soft, and I can actually control the levels of brightness that I want it to be on.
And there's the sleep timer on it as well.
Yes, and that also. And so that really, a product that was built with sleep in mind is obviously superior than any other product that's not built with sleep in mind. For example, alarms or lights, but this just combines both of them in the same thing. I'm not too sure about the longevity of this light bulb. Have you ever heard of the longevity of this light bulb? Like, for example, if I was to dish out, I'm not dishing out trivial amounts of money. I'm dishing out, $100. Could pay for a nice meal, out CN Tower. Have you heard of any reviews on?
No, I have had that thought in the past, and I do sometimes, kind of wonder, oh, maybe I shouldn't keep the night light on all day as I left for work or whatever, which I've done in the past.
Well,
but I haven't heard anything about that, and I haven't done any research about it. I just assumed it'd kind of be an easy replacement. Now, on second thought, I realize it might not be.
Yeah.
But the alarm has been working so far, and again, I did get it for the low price of $60 off Kijiji, so I'm not really complaining at all, even if it breaks in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, you've written off that cost already, but
and even if you buy it for the full price of $200, since I do have problems waking up and I do have sleeping problems, I value good impressions I make by not being late to things, especially work, more than $200. So
okay.
It's a fine purchase by me, even at full price.
I think it's $200. That's steep.
It's a little steep. Try to find yourself a nice model on Kijiji, or this is the highest end premium model from Philips, but maybe you can look into other brands or the lower end models, see if they have the features you liked.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the cost. It's more like the maintenance that really gets
literally
me.
Turning on the alarm once a night.
No. The maintenance, as in like what happens if it breaks. Is it simple? Unscrew a light bulb, descrew light bulb. Like that's something for me to take a look at if I'm willing to purchase one in the future. Because what if it breaks after 6 months? Like, is the plan for me to get a new one?
I'm
6
looking
months,
at a replacement light on Amazon right now for $6 and another one for $9.
But is it easy to...
I have no idea how easy it is, but I mean, if they're selling replacement bulbs, I'm assuming it can't be too hard to take apart, especially with your technical prowess, building your own computer by yourself, liquid cooled computer. I'm pretty sure you can figure out how to replace the light bulb.
Yeah, well, I can. I have no doubt I can replace it. It's just, I was just wondering.
Well, you can always just shell out another $200 and buy a new alarm clock instead of replacing a $10 bulb.
Yeah, no worries. You spread the love.
Have you continued to be disciplined in your screen time with respect to sleeping and your bed area?
Unfortunately, I have not.
And have you noticed a reverse effect in terms of lower quality of sleep?
Okay, the lights, the orange light really helped me in feeling feeling sleepy more faster. So that sort of mitigates that screen sort of thing. Unlike you, I have a different issue where if I'm exhausted enough, I can just fall asleep quite easily. But the thing is,
have you ever browsed your phone vertically on top of you while you're holding it with your hands and just fallen asleep and have your phone drop on your face?
See,
are you able to sleep on a phone, I guess? Because I've never had that happen to me for sleeping purposes. I've had it because I, accidentally lost my grip and dropped my phone on my face. But are you able to sleep whilst you're still on your phone?
I am, but also that's pretty bad because it just means my brain is still has a sort of active thing. And I find that if I'm doing that, oftentimes I'll just wake up and feel like shit because throughout the night I will wake up. Like, so unlike you, I will wake up multiple times in the night because my body and my brain just has this desire, this urge to constantly and consistently be entertained no matter what. Just let's fill in all these blank spaces inside our day, and oh hey, let's listen to this podcast while we brush our teeth, and so my brain is just wired to just absorb information, be entertained, and entertain other people's ideas as well. And so I think it does that to a fault, where I'll wake up from my sleep and think to myself, oh yeah, it's time, it's time, boys, to be entertained. And then I'll put on a podcast or I'll look at Reddit while I sleep, and I'm not even absorbing anything, and all I do is I wake up in the morning feeling like crap. So what ends up happening is just that. But in terms of what you were saying before, in terms of the phone falling on your face, me and you, we're the same age. I learned this lesson 10 years ago, to not put the phone over my head, because all it does is drop on your face. And all these people, I've heard a podcast of these people complaining about this problem, where the phone falls on their face every time, or the iPad, and or the tablet. And I'm thinking to myself, you guys are rough. You guys have been a lot longer than I have here.
Some people just don't have too many comfortable positions to hold their phone. Some people don't have the same flexibility as you, Eddie, being able to browse your phone on your side.
Oh,
you gotta check your side browsing privileges here at the door.
I'm a side sleeper. Okay, I will give you that much. I am a side sleeper. So
no, that's fine. I understand.
It's comfortable for me like
maybe,
that.
Maybe you should consider, waking up in the middle of the night, especially if this is a reoccurring problem. Maybe you should consider going to like a sleep lab, or get a referral from a doctor and see if there's anything medically wrong with your sleep.
Yeah, well, I've heard from you multiple times in Ontario that you can actually get that, and it's covered by Hope.
Yeah, it's covered by Hope. So, yeah, you just need a referral from a doctor, and I went to the location in downtown Toronto, and they said medically my sleep was pretty messed up. So they booked another appointment with me to, let's see what kind of remedies to this issue we can solve. And I slept in for that appointment. And then shortly after, I moved to Calgary, so I never actually solved that problem.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a catch-22 situation.
That was quite a catch-22. The sad part was that appointment was in the afternoon as well. So I know. So can't win them all. Can't win them on. So yeah, I think that will be the end of follow-up. Copyright 2011, John Syracusa.
Boom. Beepity boppity boop.
Challenge!
Alright. Last week's challenge was to listen to the audiobook Checklist Manifesto.
Please, by Atu Guwald.
No, you just leave it there, or else you're gonna say his name wrong.
No. So Eddie, what did you think of the book?
All right, I'll go first since you've listened to the book before.
Yes.
I thought it was a very interesting book. When I first started, my first impression was, oh God, what did I get myself into? That was honestly my first impression of the
it's
book.
only a 6-hour book.
Listening to the book at one-time speed is definitely not the way to go. Immediately, about maybe 10 or 20 minutes in, I sped it up to about 1.25 times speed, so 25% faster. And at that speed, the narrator talked like a normal human being would, rather than...
No, I think you just got podcast brain, man. I listen to everything at 1.25 speed, or else everything sounds definitely slow.
No,
real life conversation sounds slow as hell. This recording sounds slow as hell to me.
I listen to everything else at one-time speed, but I actually had to speed this narrator up. This narrator was going really slow. He was going like, I love checklists. But when you sped him up, he would actually sound like a normal human being, which is fine. I would take that. But it was also the narrator who was also speaking at that speed. But and it's fine. The Audible podcast app, the audiobook company from Amazon.
Use offer code NeighboursIRL for 0% off your next purchase.
And for more powders. And then so Audible does that really well in their app. I enjoyed their app very much. And also it divided the book into chapters, which was quite nice, even though I never used that feature. But if you'd like to go back on that, it's possible. So what was my impression? My impression was that I thoroughly enjoyed listening to stories rather than a discussion. I haven't listened to an audiobook in a very, very long time. And I haven't read a book, like a fiction book, or not a fiction book, but, a book about learning or even fiction for a very, very long time. Maybe even since towards high school. So we're talking about 6 years. And so I really enjoyed the fact that someone curated a whole bunch of writing and it all made sense, and the person probably edited it 50 to 100 times and made it into a sort of format which whether read or narrated made complete and total sense.
Yeah, it's very polished. Audiobooks are more polished compared to podcasts.
Yeah, for sure. That's the right word that I wanted to grasp at. And so, while for the past 4 years, I've been listening to discussion podcasts where, two dudes talking, we got a lot of jokes going around, a lot of references, a lot of societal, very current things. I felt this book was very, like you said, very classic and timeless. It felt like even though I was listening to it now, I could have listened to it about 3 years ago. Would have made sense. I could listen to it in about 5 years, and it could also make sense because of the stories and the anecdotes and the lessons that were being taught are timeless because of that polish that's on it. Daryl, second time you listening to it?
The first time I just kind of listened to it as entertainment. I didn't really try to take any learnings from it, but this time, Eddie, I took notes.
You took notes.
I'm ready to summarize the book for you. How about you give your quick summary of the book first, and then I'll see how I do compared to your summary.
Okay, so Daryl's shocked me with this, so I have to go off the top of my head.
How much did you really learn? Let's test that brain of yours, Eddie.
How much did I really learn? So, in terms of the learning in the book, it really gives you the lessons very narrowly, but only after telling you a story about why particular points about checklists are important, and also the importance of the quality of the checklist. And so, really curating to what application and or profession that you're trying to design a checklist for. You'd have to worry about obstructions, it being too long, the checklist being too narrow, the checklist being too specific or too general. Then you also get a checklist that could be a do and check checklist, or a
redo or do confirm.
Yeah, whatever. I don't remember that one, but I thought it was very interesting.
Okay.
Learning about that. All right,
listen. The first step 0 is, why do we even need checklists in the first place? Okay, so the book's main argument is that no longer are humans so incompetent that we're trying to figure it out as we go along. Years and years of studies have gained pretty much all the knowledge that one could ever want. For example, you can get lost down a Wikipedia rabbit hole forever reading about all the knowledge humans have accumulated. The problem in today's society is the application of this knowledge. So no longer are we dealing with not knowing how to seal a wound properly, for example, in a hospital, but rather all the steps involved in doing it properly and to the highest quality that we do know. So the problem is ineptitude, not lack of knowledge. So this is where he argues that checklists can help humans be more disciplined and proper, and apply and being able to apply the vast body of complex knowledge that humans have gained over our existence and society. So he has a surgery background. He is a doctor, and the context is he he was one of the leading doctors in establishing the WHO's safe surgery checklist. So he goes through examples in the medical industry where infection of lines leading to the body happens frequently, even though it should have a 0% rate. And then he goes over and talks about how, as a comparison industry, the building and construction industry, no longer is it just one person who has all the knowledge, so-called master builder trying to figure out his entire life and direct each and every person. Now the knowledge is divested into many different specialty professions like engineers, architects, construction workers, welders, and the such. So he learns from the construction industry that not only do you need checklists to learn how everything you need to do, but you also need a communications checklist to be able to deal with the complicated and unexpected stuff. And he just keeps going through list by list, like how Katrina, that disaster could have used better power structure and a better checklist. How Van Halen, remember we discussed Van Halen before,
Yes.
how his tour used a checklist to make sure that they're safe in every tour, and examples with P&G, examples with smallpox. And like another industry that he really admires was the airplane and the aviation, like how pilots fly planes now. It's basically following a giant checklist here and there. And he gives, for example, I don't know if you remember that plane that crashed into emergency water landed into the Hudson River.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you actually listen to the whole transcript and like the audio version of that event and how he safely landed the plane, was he pulled up the checklist and just started going it off. There's no longer is like piloting a kind of Top Gun-esque balls to the walls type of flying. So he keeps going through describing his checklist and how he created the safe surgery checklist, yada yada yada. And he reminds us that checklists are key reminders, and like a good checklist are just key reminders at specific times, and not a list of instructions that you'll have to follow word to word and like turn your brain off. And then he ends off by saying like checklist creates organizational behavior changes. It like pushes power to the outskirts of the company, not towards the center. So, and he talks about the ways to implement checklists within an organization, how you need like senior leadership buy-in, and like how it changes the work culture, and like it embraces a culture of teamwork and discipline rather than just skilled professions who kind of are cocky and know it all. And in the end, he just argues that the best part about checklists is that it delivers better outcomes every time with no increase of skill. And the entire last chapter of the book is just kind of him wallowing in why humans as a whole, or like whole industries, don't really seem to want to embrace checklists. How like the performance gains, for example, in the safe surgery went from like 90% safe to about 99% safe. Now, if there was a machine that could deliver the same results, there'd be doctors clamoring and saying, we need this now. Don't you care about patients' health? God damn it. But when the checklists were delivering the same results, it was the surgeons and doctors who were saying, who needs this? This is a waste of time type of culture and attitude. So it was definitely a very interesting book. And as I suspected from the first time in reading it, the entire book isn't really an informational for the general public. He tells the story of how he comes up with the safe surgery checklist and what are some good qualities of a good checklist, and gives examples, but he doesn't really go through within any time in the book and gives you a step-by-step on how to apply this knowledge, or gives a step-by-step example of how to create your own checklist for your own work. He just argues the importance of checklists throughout the book. But overall, I did enjoy my second listening of the book. Would give it a solid 7 out of 10 again, or maybe 8 out of 10. I just wish it had a bit more take-home knowledge for myself personally.
Yeah, the book is definitely a lot of anecdotes in different industries, but so that summary that you provided, definitely because you were taking notes, but also at the same time, I would say a lot of the gold nuggets that were in the audiobook. And so what you've done was you've summarized all the really good bits.
Yeah, I
that.
did distill the key takeaways.
Yeah.
But I think the storytelling medium of audiobooks helps deliver those narratives. And I don't think without all those like anecdotic stories, as you were calling them, it wouldn't have been as compelling of a book.
Yeah, well, definitely. The one thing that every single educational or informational sort of book that needs to take account in is that while you're delivering these payloads of information, at the same time, what you need to deliver has to be some sort of entertainment, because that's usually how people get their information now. And rather than students learning from textbooks, you're targeting adults with money to buy these sort of audiobooks or books. You still need to deliver that payload in an entertaining way, and audiobooks, I think, is a great way. After listening to the Checklist Manifesto, I think it's a very great way to deliver that information in a sizable gulp that is also entertaining. And while I'm not sure exactly what the style of any other narrator might be, I'm very interested in seeing how that might change from book to book, or from genre to genre, or even from narrator to narrator.
So, will you continue your audiobook membership? Will you continue listening for the low price of $15 a month?
Well, even if you listen for that month, you don't even get any all the audiobooks that you want, right? Like you just get a discount on audiobooks.
Yeah, so how audio membership work is every month you still have your membership, you get another credit to get a new book.
Oh, you got one credit every month.
For $15 a month. And even if you end your membership with Audible, you can still listen to the books you've purchased while you had your membership. Interesting. You didn't know how it worked, did you?
No, I didn't.
It's okay. They make it pretty complicated for no reason.
I just assumed that you wouldn't be able to. I mean, all you got was a discount.
Nope. So pro tip, just wait. You should pretty much just cancel your membership and wait for the next coupon. So sometimes there's like a $2 a month special, or sometimes there's a $6 a month special. Sometimes you'll have your membership for a bit, and then when you call in to cancel, they'll be like, oh, just stay, and we'll give you the low price of $8 a month. So just wait for one of those before you continue your membership.
Yeah, I'm definitely down in.
How many more books are you looking to listen to?
I don't have a short list right now. I don't even have a list right now. I'm definitely open to suggestions right now. Any books you would suggest?
We can just go through my wish list and see, or my current library, and see what books I have listened to. I actually listen to a lot of more like science fiction or story-based audiobooks instead of kind of self-improvement audiobooks. But don't worry, Eddie, because you can't forget about Audible's great listen guarantee. It's a benefit exclusively for active membership. The audiobooks that you purchase that you are not 100% satisfied with for 365 days, that's 1 year, Eddie, you can return for no questions asked. So remember, if you're not bold, completely satisfied, space period, you can return any book within a year.
That's so long. That's actually pretty awesome. Yeah, I'd do that. Our Checklist Manifesto, awful book, returning it, getting another book.
I don't think you can do that, man, especially with your free trial.
Well, they'll also see that you've read the whole thing, and you're like,
Yeah, probably. Well, usually they don't care the first couple times, and then they start caring.
Is that from personal experience?
Yep. This week, we attended a weightlifting competition from our good friends Jeff and Eddie, or excuse me, Jeff and Gary.
Oh my god!
I'm not gonna edit that. Jeff and Gary, they participated in a weightlifting challenge, and they did well. It was entertaining to watch them do their bench press. I didn't get to stay for the deadlift, but I'm sure it was exciting to watch. Anyways. At the weightlifting competition, there was a massage station and massage table. And, me being me, I went over and asked if I can get a massage. And the guy gave me a small massage and, helped me do some stretching exercises. He was more of he was a stretching kinesiology masters, I think, was whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. Either way, I felt pretty good after those stretches. So this week, Eddie, I want us to try stretching every day.
Stretching every day.
Yes.
All right.
Now,
got it.
Now, listen. I remember the last time we had a physical activity challenge, and I think what the lesson learned from that challenge was that both of us require structure in order to be able to follow along and actively participate and gain something from these challenges.
Okay.
In fact, you can call this podcast a weekly challenge podcast where Eddie and I try new things to improve our lives. So there is a stretching routine called starting stretches. Pretty similar to starting strength or whatever the hell the weightlifting program is called.
All right.
And I would like us to follow along on that routine. Now, you may be thinking, a routine to follow along, that's still too hard, even though there's structure. I don't want to do it. Well, hold on. For 2 equal payments of your time this week, you can download an app called Body Weight Fitness.
Body Weight Fitness.
Now, this application has 2 stretching routines on it, starting stretch and molding mobility. You can choose whichever one you want to follow. I think I'm going to do like one in the morning, one in the afternoon. But you're going to have to do one of those routines once in the morning and once in the evening. And there's even like a tracker on there and some instructionals. So we will be able to track, not only have a routine, but track our progress. And we can compare and see how our mobility improves over this week. See, listen, Eddie, these stretches are to be performed in succession and should not take longer than 20 to 30 minutes. It is recommended, however, to do them every single day. If you have time, repeating these stretches 2 to 3 times is also recommended, which is what we'll do once in the morning when we wake up, and once before we sleep.
Alrighty. I'm very curious as to how this thing tracks our mobility.
Is literally just a timer to say, are you doing these stretches during this time? If yes, continue the timer. If not, stop the timer.
Okay.
So just we can do a demo right here. Oh, look at that. Here's the timer. Shoulder flexibility and start. Oh, here's the timer. Let's just keep going at it. Oh, I stopped. Okay, time to move on to the next stretch. Oh, here's the timer. So I don't think it's hard. Log time. The time was logged. And just try to get 100% every day.
Okay.
I believe in you.
We'll do it.
All right, let's play some Overwatch then. Podcast over.
Okay, done.